Today we are going to start our new lesson, that is chapter 13. The chapter is based on, the name of the chapter is Societal Impact of Information Technology. Here in this chapter, student, we are going to study about the impact or effect of computers in our day-to-day life. Okay. Along with it, we are also going to know about the information or the data that is uploaded in our system. How can it be protected so that no one can use, or you can say no one can misuse it. Before starting our chapter, I want to say that, think, where do we keep our cash at home? Where do we keep it? We keep it in the locker. Why do we keep the cash in the locker? We keep the cash in the locker so that it will be safe. It will be kept safe, isn't it? So dear students, there are lots of sensitive and personal information are there in the computer. As for example, our mobile, it is a small device, but it is like our diary. We can say mobile is our diary. We update it every day. We upload our all the sensitive information there. So to keep it private, okay, to keep it private so that others may not use it, we need areas of security and safety. So these all will be discussed here in this chapter. Let us start our chapter. Over the years, the use of computer has become widespread in areas such as business, government, defense, and even at home. This means that large amounts of vital and sensitive data are increasingly being entrusted to and stored in computers. Data security has thus assumed a great deal of importance. In confidentiality, we will discuss the various threats to the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of data and what can be done to combat this. Now, as for example, before you can say 20 years, before 20 years, computers were not generally used in all the institutions. Very few people had computer system. But nowadays, we can see even a small shop, grocery shop, or a library, or any institution, organization, all are using computer nowadays. Why? Because with the help of computer, we can easily do our work. Since we use the computer at home also, isn't it? So, it is very much important to keep in mind so that our information will be in safe. Okay. Now let us move towards the chapter. Virus. A computer virus is a program that attaches itself to other programs in order to alter their behavior, often in a harmful way. Now here, what is virus? You all have known the term virus. You are familiar with it, but you all have heard this term in biology. Isn't it? If I am not wrong, in science biology term, you can see the virus in microscope. Under microscope, you can see the virus. But computer virus is not like that virus. Okay, you cannot see it. It is actually, computer virus is a program. Computer virus, the virus in computer is a program. It is a program which is typed by a person. This program is coded by a person. Why? So that when this program enters to some other system, it will alter their behavior. It means it will change their behavior. In a short example, let me say you, suppose, as for example, I am saying you, suppose in the computer you have typed 2 plus 3 equal to 5. Your answer should be 5. Now, if the virus affects the program, it will alter. Alter means it will change. You want to do earlier, you want to do my plus addition, but the computer it has changed. Okay, automatically it has changed. You want to do plus, but the computer it has done minus. Have you understood what is the work of virus? The virus, what it does, it alters the behavior. It changes the behavior of the computer. Viruses are of different types. Okay, viruses are explained here. Actually, in your book, there are 5 kinds of viruses are explained. First is program or file infector virus or parasitic virus. This program virus or parasitic virus is what type of virus? This type of virus infects executable code files such as .exe, .com, .sys, etc. That is the program which ends with .exe. That is, it is the, what it is called? It is called the file extension. The file extension is .exe. Okay, suppose whenever we save a particular file in MS Word, if we save a particular file in MS Word, we get the file name, suppose as for example student. Okay, we have get the file name student, and after clicking on save, the computer automatically adds .docs. That means what? This is the file extension of MS Word, Microsoft Word. So the program where such file extension is .exe, .sys, those programs are, those files are affected by parasitic virus. Parasitic virus can affect only those kind of files which ends with .trv, .com, etc. Have you understood? Now let's move to another one, macro virus. A macro is a set of command. Macro is a set of command written by the user to be executed later. A macro virus uses the macro language for its program. Documents created using MS Office applications such as MS Word 2010, Excel and SS, which use macro language, often gets infected by this type of virus. That means macro virus can affect only those documents which are created under MS Office. MS Office, what are the documents under MS Office? First we can get MS Word, then you say MS PowerPoint, then MS Excel. That means whatever file is under MS Office, all those files are infected by macro virus. Macro virus can only infect those files which are under MS Office. Now next virus is multi-partite virus. This type of virus infects computer system and spreads itself in multiple ways. So why this virus is named as multi-partite virus? Because multi means many. Okay, multi means many. So this virus can turn itself into many. Okay, this type of virus computer and spreads itself in multiple ways. In various ways it can spread and infect the computer. Next comes to polymorphic virus. This type of virus changes its code when it passes to another computer system, making it difficult for an antivirus program to detect it. It means what? To protect our computer from virus, what do we use? We use antivirus program. Antivirus program protects virus from entering into our computer system. But polymorphic virus is such a virus which cannot be detected by the antivirus program. Antivirus program here fails to detect this kind of virus. And if the antivirus program fails to detect this kind of virus, the program will not give any warning. Okay, directly the virus will enter into the system and it will start performing. Next, stealth virus. This type of virus use various techniques to avoid detection by the user and or antivirus program. Stealth virus. Why it is called stealth virus? That means this virus enters into the computer system secretly. Okay, it changes its technique. It uses various techniques so that it cannot be traced by any antivirus program. That is why it is called as stealth virus. So next we have worm. What is worm? Let us know. A computer worm is a program capable of reproducing and spreading itself to another computer system, usually by means of a computer network. Now, how does worm goes from one system to another system? By the means of computer network. It spreads without any human action. Computer worms usually do not pose any direct damage to the program and files in the computer system. They invade. However, they consume a large amount of memory and or network bandwidth, thus slowing down the computer and making it almost impossible for the user to work on it. Suppose, as for example, computer worm. Now, what is this? According to the description given in book, it does not harm the computer or it does not harm the file. Any of the file it does not harm. But how it acts? One, it enters into the computer system. Suppose it is computer. Okay, suppose it is computer. Worm enters in the computer. Now, here you can see your computer. Suppose, as for example, this is the total space. This is the total space in your computer hard disk. Now, here it is completely empty. your computer is completely blank. The memory of the computer is hard disk is completely blank. You have not stored anything. Okay. Now if the work enters into the system, though it is empty, though your space is empty, but it will show that the memory is full. One will act in such a way that your system memory will become full, and as the system memory becomes full, your computer will slow down its performance. The performance of the computer will slow down automatically. As for example, let's take example of the mobile which you are holding now in your hand. Okay, if the memory of the mobile it is full, then what it shows? It shows a pop-up screen that you have to clear your internal storage. Your storage is full, and sometimes it is to be hanged, isn't it? So whenever we free up the space, then what happens? We can use the device easily. It will not hang anymore. So same such a way, what acts in our computer that though the memory is full, but it will show that though the memory is empty, but it will show that the memory is full. Okay, and it will slow down the device. So now our next topic is Trojan horse. Now let us read what is it. A Trojan horse is a program that appears useful at first, but is actually programmed to pass the user's data or access rights, that is password, to someone else. Trojan horses do not reproduce by infecting other files or by self-replicating, like viruses and worms respectively. When a Trojan horse is activated, it typically causes a change in the existing desktop icons or create new ones. It may also delete some important files. Its main aim, however, is to steal sensitive information stored on the infected computer. Now, Trojan horse, what it is? It is a kind of program, okay, which does not hamper the computer. But what its main aim? Its main aim to steal the user information. Suppose I have an email address. Okay, my email address will be protected by some sort of password. That password, I may share my email address with someone else, but I not share my password with someone else, isn't it? So if someone wants to know my password, what he or she will do? He or she will come to know it by the Trojan horse, by the program of Trojan horse. Suppose, as for example, if I open my email, and in the inbox, when I go to my inbox, I can see that lots of messages has come. Lots of messages are there in my inbox, which I do not know. Okay, suppose 00679, this with various others names. I have not asked them to send me. I do not know this particular person who has sent me this mail. If I open this, as soon as I open this mail to read what is written there, the program gets activated. Okay, the program gets activated. The program is transferred to the computer system through mail. Okay, it is transferred to the computer system through mail. As soon as I open the mail, what will happen? The program gets activated and it will pass my sensitive information to the user who has sent me this mail. Is it clear? So whenever such mail comes, what we have to do? We don't have to open this kind of mail. Directly we have to select this and click on the delete option. Without reading this mail, we have to delete it. If we do such, our computer, our system device will remain safe. The program can't get activated. So dear student, in today's video, we have discussed about various kinds of viruses and what are its effect on our computer system. In our next video, we are going to discuss about antivirus program. Okay.